A very good morning to all the students. Stay home, stay safe, be happy, work hard. Now, today we are into the last bit of principles of management. We are left with the comparison of Fayol's principle and F.W. Taylor's principle. So, let us see what is the difference between the two principles. Fayol had 14 principles, you must be knowing, and Taylor had only 4 principles. So, what is the difference between the two? Henry Fayol's concentrated on top level management, Taylor concentrated on lower level management. Henry Fayol had principles were universally applicable, and Taylor's principles were applicable to specialized situations. Next is developed through personal experience, developed through observations and experimentation. Next is concentrated on unity of command and unity of direction. You very well know that unity of command and unity of direction are amongst the 14 principles that Henry Fayol has given. They are very important principles. And you must be knowing unity of command means one worker should get information or instruction from one person or one boss only. But here, just contrary to this, Fayol has talked about functional foremanship, where one worker is getting instruction from 8 individuals, 8 specialists. So this is a huge difference with Henry Fayol's principle of unity of command. Next, Henry Fayol has focused on overall administration. However, Taylor has focused on developing techniques for improving productivity. So you can just have a recap here. Perspective, that is, Fayol principles were developed from that is top level, for the top level, and Taylor is lower level. Unity of command strictly followed. Here it is not being followed. Okay, so we have followed functional foremanship. Principles are universally applicable. Fayol's principle. Taylor's principle are less flexible. So likewise, you can see the rest of them we have already discussed. Fayol principles are based on personal experience. Taylor's work is based on observation. Fayol focused on improving overall administration, but Taylor has focused on productivity of workers. And then personality, Fayol was known as father of general management and Taylor is known as father of scientific management. His contribution is expressed as general theory, but here Taylor's contribution is expressed as scientific management. So likewise, human element, when we talk about, Fayol has more human elements like equality of workers, initiative, stability of tenure, but Taylor had less human element, and he has mainly concentrated on production and productivity of people. Fayol emphasized on principle and theory of general administration, but here Taylor has laid emphasis on standardization of work and tools. So children, we have done with the comparison. There are 2 more difference. I have given you a PDF of the 2 difference. Okay, so I will you can just have a look into that. But today we'll just go into the principles and techniques that was given by Taylor. Now, F.W. Taylor's principles I did, techniques I gave you another video of another teacher. So today I feel like just a short recap of what we have done. Principles, what are the principles of F.W. Taylor? They are science, not the thumb rule; harmony, not discord; cooperation, not individualism; development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency. And what are the principles? Principles are 7: functional foremanship, standardization, simplification of work, method study, motion study, time study, fatigue study, differential wage, piece wage system. Now, when we talk about techniques, what are techniques? Techniques help in application of scientific principles. Like, you have rules made in the school, but how to apply those rules? So the application part is done by the techniques. Okay, so this is what is techniques all about. So there are 7 techniques. You can just have look into this figure, 7 techniques that I already have told you. Okay, so let us come to functional foremanship. As you know that Taylor has applied division of work, the principle of division of work in this functional foremanship. He has divided supervision work into 2 work. What are the 2 works? He has divided it into planning and doing work. So managers here are of 2 types: planning in charge and production in charge. So under factory managers there are planning in charge and production in charge. So under planning in charge you are having the car clerk, route clerk, time cost clerk. Under the production in charge you are having speed boss, gang boss, repair bosses, etc. You can just have a look at this figure. So one particular worker has been instructed by 8 individuals, 8 different specialists. Under the planning in charge you can see the 4 of them. Under the production in charge you can see the 4 of them. Now let us see what is the work of these people in the organization. Under the planning department you are having the route clerk, you are having the instruction clerk, you are having the time and cost clerk and disciplinarian. Route clerk, he has to lay down the sequence of work, which work to be done first, which was to be done next. So the work is divided into a number of small little jobs. So which job to be performed first, second, and thus the sequence is being told by the route clerk. Next is instruction and card clerk. Now instruction and card clerk gives a guideline to the workers. He instructs the workers. And then we are having time and cost clerk. His work is to record the time of completing a job. He records the time as well as the cost required for a particular job. So here you can see records the time taken and also keeps a record of the cost. Disciplinarian, as the name suggests, he is responsible for discipline. Next we come to role of four men under production in charge. You have the speed boss, who ensures that the work is done on time. You have the gang boss, who ensures that all the material, tools, machine is ready for operation. He will keep everything ready for operation. Okay, so when the workers come, they should go into their job. So he is a person responsible to keep the material, tools, etc. in proper place. Next is repair box. What is he doing? He is seeing to it that all the machines, equipments, etc. are in proper condition. So this is what is the repair boss doing. Next is the last one is the inspector. So he is checking the quality of the products. Next we come into standardization and simplification. Now what is standardization means? Uniformity. Okay, that is uniformity in a certain product. So it can be quality, it can be quantity, it can be not only quality, quantity, working condition also should be standard, means ek jaisa. Okay, so that the product that is coming out is also standard, that is alike. Okay, you buy a particular that is chips packet of Lays from one shop and you buy it from will be the same that you buy it from another shop. So that is standard, ek jaisa. Okay, so this is what is standardization. You should know that that is definition of standardization. And what is simplification? Simplification means removal of unnecessary diversity of products. Unnecessary diversity should be avoided. Uniformity should be maintained mainly. Next is we are going into the method study. It is concerned with finding one best way of doing the job. You can just have a look at this. So example, if we say raw material should be stored near the place of production to avoid unnecessary wastage of time and money in transportation of goods from storage place to production place. So this is what is method study, one best way of doing things. What is the best way of keeping the raw material? The best way of doing or keeping the raw material is near the production place. So this is what is method study. So here, right from procurement of raw material to the final production, activities come under method study. One best way we find out to do a particular job. Next we are doing, that is motion study. Motion study involves study of movements like lifting, putting the object, sitting position, all types of motion that a person does or people do when they are doing a particular job is being studied. So if it is observed through motion study that the worker has to move frequently for taking a tool, okay, so if you think if you are in motion study and you feel that the worker has to move a lot of take a lot of movements in order to get his tools from the toolbox, so what is the thing is, such unnecessary movement should be avoided, I think, okay. So how will it be improved? If the toolbox is coming near the worker. So that is what is motion study talking all about. So it saves time and increases production as well. Next we are talking about time study. It refers to technique which is used to determine the time, okay. So how much of time taken for a particular work is what is time study. What is the standard time taken by a worker of reasonable skill to perform a particular job? That is time study. Next is fatigue study. What does fatigue study tell? It is the study to determine the amount of rest and intervals required in completing a task. So fatigue study tries to see that how much of rest is required by a worker. It helps to find out how long a person can work without having any adverse effect on health. So it tries to analyze the amount of work that a person can do with a certain amount of rest. So, and the last one we are having is differential piece wage. It means it refers to a system in which efficient and inefficient worker are paid different wages. So it happens today also, you must be hearing that some people are paid more because of the efficiency and some people are paid less, especially when we are talking about target jobs, okay. So there when we here Taylor has emphasized about two rates, okay, types of rates. Higher wage rate for worker who produce equal or more than the standard output. So wage rate should be high for the person who produces more than what is the required output, or at least he is producing the standard output, so higher wage rate. But people who are unable to produce much, so Taylor says that their wage should be deducted. So he says low wage rate for workers who do not reach the standard. So this is differential piece wage system. Very quickly I have gone through this, children. All we have already the clipping or the video was given already, so I was very quick at it. So hope you have understood the topic. Now thank you to all of you. Have a nice day, all of you. Bye bye.